Hello Capricorn, thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main read, I'm using The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrated by Mark Evans. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angel Answers oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay, first half will be relationships, second half will be singles. Alright. So I'm feeling this should be more in your court to start with. Let's see if that's how this goes. That is interesting. I don't know if we're going to do another one. I feel like those two, yes? Okay, they're going to stop. Alright. I'm noticing, the first thing I noticed with this, after everything was down, your partner has the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands going on. Now, the King of Wands is in their spiritual position. The Queen of Cups is where they're standing. The two of these energies together is somebody who can be very emotional and very driven, somebody who's very active, and kind of like feeding off emotion and taking action from it. So this seems like somebody's kind of reacting through emotion. It's almost like they're just having emotional responses to this or that. It's not really thinking things out. It's just like when something happens, having a reaction. Okay. Now, that being said, I do see what's keeping the situation where it is they seem very happy and content. They feel very stable in this relationship. You have the Five of Pentacles, I'm noticing, which it might feel like you're kind of left out in the cold or getting the cold shoulder. I'm kind of feeling like you might feel like it's the cold shoulder, which is kind of interesting because they have the Four of Rods on their side where they're feeling very happy and stable. Why are you feeling the cold shoulder is the question. Because there's a little conflict between the two of you, but what is it? Because I feel like your partner is very happy. And it seems to be just going happy-go-lucky right now. Like, I feel like the Queen of Cups with the King of Wands together in this situation, whatever's happening at the moment, they're just kind of going with and they're reacting with. I don't feel like there's a lot of analyzing or overanalyzing, anything like that going on. Just if it's a good moment, they're going with the good moment. If it's a bad moment, they're reacting to it as necessary and moving on from it. I don't feel like they're stuck in any type of mode. They're just kind of rolling with it. And I don't know yet why you're feeling this cold shoulder, but I'm getting like you're feeling like a cold shoulder, or are you giving the cold shoulder? Because I'm getting this cold shoulder reference on your side, but are you giving it or are you receiving it? Because I feel like they're happy, so even if you're giving it, they're not realizing it. They're not getting it. They're not realizing if that's what's going on here. If you're giving the cold shoulder, your partner doesn't seem to be catching on to what's going on. They seem to be just rolling with it from moment to moment. They don't want to deal with it. They're just going on. Now, this seems to be what's slurring into the future. And what I mean is, like, it seems like where it starts from and what actually is kind of like pulling through. Your partner, I feel like when it comes to talking with you or dealing with you directly, it's more of a passive reaction. It's more of a like nervous, because I feel like if you are giving the cold shoulder, they're not completely oblivious to it, but they don't want to think about it. They don't want to think about what that means or why you're feeling that way. On your side, you have karma. Like, sooner or later, debt will be paid. It's kind of what I'm feeling from this. Something's going on with you and your partner that I feel like you're at a point where you've just kind of had it. The question is why? Because your partner seems to be more trying to go on like it's going to be fine. If they just weather it through, things will be all right. They don't want to really look at the situation too deeply. They're aware of that you're kind of giving them the cold shoulder, but they don't want to deal with it, so they're pretending like things are fine. I'm getting this Four of Wands energy on their side again. They're feeling very stable and secure. They're just like, you know what, if I don't pay too much attention to what's going on, it's not really real. That type of thing. Okay. So there's definitely a problem, but I feel like you're not happy is what the problem is. And I'm kind of feeling like you're the one giving the cold shoulder. The farther we get into this, I feel like you're giving the cold shoulder. There's definitely a cold shoulder reference here. So if that's not hitting for you, it is a general read, but it's either you giving the cold shoulder or you getting the cold shoulder. That seems where this reading is strongly centered on. Now, and I'm also getting the karma feel here on your side, like what goes around comes around type feel. Now, as things go forward, I'm noticing you have the Five of Wands in what helps, and then you have the Ten of Swords in your future. Five of Wands is an argument, conflict. Ten of Swords is ruin and kind of despair. So I feel like finally you come forward with what you're thinking. Whether you're giving the cold shoulder or receiving it, whichever, this comes to a head and you start voicing how you feel about that. And I feel like it ends up in an argument. I'm actually feeling, especially the way these cards match up, because they have the Four of Cups, I feel like it's you saying your piece, very, like you're angry. There's anger here. There's definitely anger here. And they're just kind of listening, but they're just kind of like, I feel like again they're checking out. I'm kind of getting this checkout feeling. You're not happy about that. You're not happy about the checkout feeling. Now, even though you said your piece, you're not feeling good about it in the aftermath here. So it might have went to a point where the way they were reacting just kind of fueled the fire a little too much. The way they were reacting kind of ticked you off a little more. And I feel like it might have got to a point where you really started laying into him. Whoever, him, her, whoever. You really said how you felt. And it came through quite harshly. I'm noticing you have the Queen of Wands on your side with the High Priestess. I feel like the Queen of Wands is talking about this argument that happens. And by argument, I mean I'm more feeling like you voicing what you're thinking and feeling. I feel like you're not liking the response you're getting from your partner, and it gets pretty heated, and you really get quite vocal about what you're thinking. And it might be one of those things where you get caught up in the moment and say things that maybe you didn't really want to say or weren't planning to say, but the reaction really, I feel like, ticked you off more, and it got really, things came out that maybe you weren't planning to say. Now, you have the Empress, the High Priestess. The High Priestess and the Queen of Wands. Like, the Queen of Wands is an activator. She gets things done. She wants to do something, she does it. That's how that is. She has an idea, she takes action on it. The High Priestess, she tries to see things fairly. She tries to balance the good with the bad. She tries to be fair. I feel like this is talking about you going into this situation. When you're ready to talk and say what's going on, you are literally trying to work it out. I really feel like that's your intention, to address something that's been going on. Time to deal with it. Might as well start the conversation. But the reaction from your partner, I feel like that just ticks you right off, and it just goes awry. The energy just kind of takes a life of its own, and I feel like there's a lot of anger here. Now, I'm getting a match with you and your partner in the sense of I do feel like there's some type of emotional match here, but your partner seems to be trying to be more non-reactive, which just seems, I don't know, how they're reacting seems to really set this off to another level. And as it goes forward after this, I do see that you feel like there's ruin here. Your partner has the Wheel of the Year, aka Wheel of Fortune, with Remain Positive. I don't know if you can read that. Remain Positive. This is on their side for where this ends up for them. And I still feel like they're just thinking this is a cycle. This is just something that's happening now. It's going to pass. And it's not something to really worry about too much. Just let's just weather this and let things come back around as they need to. Okay. I have to say, the deck was kind of off kilter a little bit, and where it was, the Tower card was there. So I feel like the Tower card might be eminent here. Because I feel like I feel like the situation where this is going, the ruin you're feeling, I feel like you might be heading for the Tower here, which the Tower is breakdown. Sometimes break up. Huh. So, I do want to read, before I get to this little piece here that I wasn't seeing before because it was face down. Queen of Cups with the King of Wands. Your partner does love you. And I'm being reminded about that with this going forward. Now, you got the Tower in the middle of the deck that's just kind of like creeping through. I feel like this is a fear of the relationship, that it could be heading for a breakup. So, and I feel like this is on your partner's side, because they also have be assertive on their side. I feel like when this happens and you get really mad and you kind of like, I feel like you really get mad based on the response, because I don't feel like you're planning to have a freak out, but I feel like you get the way your partner responds, you don't like it and you feel like that's wrong. I feel like you're kind of like that's almost disrespectful, and it just triggers you, and you freaking boof, you just had it. You start saying things you weren't planning to say. You're just really, really angry about it. If this hits for you, it's a general read, remember. Now, one of the reasons you have the Ruin card here, I think, is because you're also aware of that Tower. Like, you feel like, you know what, this could really damage this relationship. This could bring this to an end. And I don't feel like you really want that. Your partner, on their other hand, is also seeing this as being a major problem because this blow-up was pretty bad. I feel like this was a bad argument. They're seeing the Tower too as a possibility. They don't want that either. I'm seeing the Lovers, and the card next to it is in the near future. I also see on your partner's side, be assertive. I feel like they're coming back towards you, trying to repair the situation. They want to talk it out. And the Lovers card being there is like, I feel like you're both on that page. This doesn't go on far beyond this argument or you venting how you feel. Again, I feel like you don't mean to. You're not going into this feeling like you're going to blow up like this, but whatever happens, you do. It doesn't go far beyond that before you guys end up together again, talking this out. In the Lovers card here, I feel like the two of you are truly working it out, trying to understand like why this happened, what's been going on, like how each of you have been feeling. Because I do feel like the two of you I do feel like you match. I feel like there's a match here, in the sense of like emotionally, actively. I feel like there is a match here. Whatever the situation is at hand, this has to be worked out, and I feel like once it is, I feel like this is actually a good thing that you're having this moment, because it is creating the Lovers in the future. I don't feel like you like this moment, and I don't feel like you like it right after it either. But this point where the Lovers come back in, this is very good for your relationship in the sense of like it got some things out there that needed to be said. And I feel like your partner can be like, well, I didn't know you felt that way. And then you can explain, go through things, and then they can tell you things that maybe you don't know. I feel like there's like a deepening. Like, I feel like you said some things that hurt them, and they might say some things back because they are kind of upset. But when they do, it's like an opportunity for you to know things that you didn't know either. And it's like it's a healing and growing closer situation. I feel like it's uncomfortable, especially at this point, and it might be uncomfortable when you start having a conversation, but it's like reinforcing the base, bringing more strength into this relationship in the long run. So this is actually good, because the Lovers do come back in afterwards, which is a good thing. It's kind of like the makeup after the fight. Really, really good. I feel like it's really strengthening your relationship. Done? Okay. I feel like that's what we have for Capricorn relationship. Let's do Capricorn singles. Let's see what we have for you guys. Capricorn singles. What do we have for Capricorn singles? Capricorn empowering information for Capricorn singles to help them move forward in the way they want to. All right. a bit of fire energy going on for you here too. Well, there's 2 cards, but the last card is the Queen of Wands, which is a major fire card in my opinion. So where are we going here? You're standing in the spot of the Hermit, looking for answers, looking to see what's really going on here. I don't even know if you can see that, because I'm looking in the viewfinder. It looks completely black, so I hope you can see this card. There we go. Your mind is in the 6 of Pentacles. That's a charity card, a giving card. You're in a giving mood. I feel like you're in a giving mood, because I'm more centered on the guy here who's giving. So I feel like your mindset is in giving. But you're also looking for answers. Is there somebody here now? Or is this kind of not happening? There's a alright, Queen of Wands, I get that that's a female energy, but it's a general read, so it can go either way, male or female, but I'm feeling like that's where we're leading to, is this person. So, what you have in the environment is the High Priestess, and the Shadow Side card is in the base. The Shadow Side is also reminiscent of the Devil. I just realized I've split them too far forward. I hope you can see them. There we go. Maybe you can see them there. Alright, so I feel like things are balancing out around you. I feel like you're looking at possibilities, you're seeing the good and the bad, but I'm not really sure anybody's really catching your interest at this moment. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Like, I don't really feel like anybody's catching your interest not that strongly. And there's been some opportunities in the past. In fact, I feel like there's somebody in the past who's kind of, they've shown that they are interested, and you really didn't want to go forward with that, but it comes around again, and I feel like you're going forward with it the second time around to give it a shot. Because I feel like the Justice card here is to say, you're giving somebody a fair chance. And I'm noticing like the past seems to be clumped in with what's going on right now. So somebody who offered you something, or somebody who wanted to go out with you or spend some time with you, I feel like you originally kind of said no, or just kind of ducked out of the situation. But they're coming around again, and you're like, you know what? Why not? Why not just give this person a shot? Because the opportunity comes forward again, and you go with it. But I'm also seeing the Ten of Swords here at the overall top. Like, you're still not feeling it though. You get the Ten of Swords. I feel like you're looking at this like this is not what you want. And this person seems to be interested in you. I don't feel like you're interested in them. I really don't feel like that's working. And you're moving on from it. You have the Six of Wands here in your future. I feel like the reason we're seeing this is because I feel like you've solved it, or it's like by giving this person a shot, you've kind of like, you've wrapped that whole situation up. You're like, you know what, it was fun, it was nice hanging out, but I don't see you that way. I just wanted to see if anything was going to come of it, but I'm just really not seeing you that way, and I'm sorry. The Six of Wands is saying like you're moving on from this, and it's kind of a victory for you because you've kind of wrapped it all up. Correct? What else is going on? So, alright, so whatever that opportunity was, I feel like that's its own thing. But there might be something else also coming through with this card. Somebody else is catching your interest in the future. Now, when this person comes forward, you're automatically feeling like this is going to work out. I'm trying to put it in a spot where you can see it. I hope you can see it. Yeah, I'll just stop. I don't know if it even matters at this point. You're feeling like this is a sure win. Now, you're going towards this person, and I'm seeing it with 2 cards. I'm seeing the Queen of Wands, but I'm also seeing the passive no. I feel like your first attempt isn't going to work. You might have to hold on and kind of weather through it a little bit. What I'm seeing, this is general read, but I'm definitely noticing that it's not a yes or it's not a definite no, but it's not a yes either. I feel like you might have to wait out the situation and see how it goes. I feel like the first time around doesn't seem to work. I feel like you might even ask this person out, or something might happen where plans get canceled the first time around. But it feels like there's a false start here. You might have to wait it out to see if another chance comes around. But I'm not getting left or right whether this is going to work out or not. But this is definitely somebody you're interested in. But there's definitely, if this is hitting for you, this is starting, like the first time around falls flat for one reason or another. Either you ask this person out and they're just like, I don't really think that's going to work out. Or plans get canceled, or it just seems like a passive no. Like, I don't feel like this person's like definitely not into you, but for some reason, the first attempt at seeing them just doesn't work out. So you might have to wait out for a second or third chance before it actually happens to see how you really feel about this person. Because I'm kind of feeling when that happens, it'll settle more about where you really stand with this person, and things will kind of work themselves out. But I feel like what we're talking about is like the first time around is a false start. It's like either plans fail, or the person, like, they tell you no in a way that it's not, I don't feel like it's a no because they're not interested. It's a no because they don't want to get involved in dating, or they don't have the time for it, or something like that. The first time around is a false start. Okay. So, alright, I think we actually went through this. Yeah, looking at all the cards, looks like we did them all. Okay, good. Alright, that being done, I'm going to wrap that up there. Of course, if you would like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.